down up here.
That's great. We both have lights.
Yeah.
And the way things go, Alan has the squirrel icon over his head on my phone.
Yeah.
So, hey everybody, we're live.
I have.
Hello. No, I'm alive, but
I have.
It says live in the corner.
I have a
cat.
Oh.
I'm trying to do the finger movement.
Looks super, super comfy.
He is. It's his favorite blanket.
That looks like the comfiest place in the world.
So. Yep.
As I was saying before we started the show, I have a show and tell for this week.
Oh.
My
nice bruise.
Yeah. It's not a long story. It's a stupid story.
As they so often.
Mike was downstairs. Mike was like outside, and I was up in the bedroom, and I opened the window to yell down at him. And as I leaned down, I bonked myself. You know the old metal handle that pulls up the window. Yep. Bonk right in the head. Down. But Mike and I were talking before the show. I was like, I said if my bruise was like on my eye, I'd have a really good shiner. I think you'd have a little.
You would.
And I said I would tell people you beat me, and he said nobody would ever believe that.
This is true. No one would ever believe that.
Mike is very nice, and I am not. So
now if Mike had a shiner, if he had a shiner.
Yeah, but all I'd have to do is take away the step ladder.
I would just tell people I was defending myself.
Yeah. Oh, I'll be right back.
Yep.
I'm really nice. What? Oh.
We have hostess interrupt
Okay.
us.
We'll carry on.
Bye.
With the show
Bye,
without.
Larry.
Yeah.
See
you, Alan. Thanks for joining us.
As long as he presses stop record at the end of the session.
How you doing, Jay?
I'm doing great, Beta. How about yourself?
You don't have any weird self-injuries this week?
What's that?
You don't have any weird self-injuries this week?
I do not have any weird self-injuries this week. Mine tend to be... I tend to do that when I'm on an airplane because I always stand up into the little overhead bin. Always. No matter how many times I'm like, don't hit the overhead bin. Don't hit the overhead bin. Don't hit the overhead bin.
Oh, no.
Ow, God damn.
Ouch.
Every time.
I
also burned my finger. 2nd degree burn.
All right.
So I've got 2 this week.
Yikes, fellas.
I was pouring chicken broth. I'm a mess.
Do you need a minder, Brita?
I kind of do. Yes.
Falling around. Don't care.
Always injuring myself.
When we go to the Renaissance Fair, we're going to shop for leather gauntlets for you.
For the kitchen.
And a helmet.
So I could not burn myself.
Yeah, and a leather helmet. Yeah.
Get the ones with goggles.
That'd be cool.
Well, I am doing a steampunk theme this year.
There you go.
For the Ren Fair in Texas. Because the theme is Barbarian Weekend, and I really didn't want to wear a fur bikini.
Weekend.
Didn't feel like wearing a fur bikini.
Renaissance Barbarian. I wasn't aware that they were congruent.
The Texas Ren Fest has theme weekends. So last weekend was Pirates. I took my daughter there. It was her 21st birthday.
Oh boy.
Yep.
Fun.
I got 3 months. 3 months before that happened.
She was like my sister, her aunt. Let her try a frozen margarita.
Oh no.
Did
you?
What?
Let her. She's 21.
I know. Well,
yeah, she could go buy her own.
She was not quite 21 yet at the time. This was like a week ago, and I didn't. I was like, oh, well, that was cool. How'd you like it? And she goes, I didn't really like it. I was like, oh, okay, and I was like, so I'm supposed to really believe that's the first time you've ever had a drink. Actually, for her, it might be, but I'm not.
Might be.
I'm not that naive.
Well, I mean, I never had a drink before I was 21.
I'm Irish. I can't say that.
I had a drink before I was 18. Are you kidding me?
I had a
Jeez.
drink before I was 5. Come on.
You were drinking beer before you could walk. Are you kidding me?
We've all heard the beer story.
Heard the
Have we?
story. Yeah, absolutely.
What about
We
the apple
will walk
pie?
for beer. Oh, Jay.
I got suspended from school once because I came back from lunch smelling like beer. So yeah,
We're all just getting up and walking off camera. Sorry.
that's right. That's fine.
It's work harder to get rid of me. Yeah. Well, just wait. Eventually, my phone will kick me off. Boot.
Yeah. Have you figured out what that's about yet? Like why you're
I don't know.
Just
random?
lucky.
I don't know. I did come up with a topic if we were looking for something. And Alan, this is kind of sort of in your wheelhouse a little bit.
Uh-oh.
Well,
What?
I've been watching TV because I get sick of my computer and I see a lot of commercials. And there's there's a ton of these financial apps, Chime and Ally and SoFi and this and that and the other thing. It's like, oh, you could do this, get your paycheck 2 days earlier, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, so this isn't a bank. This is just an app that helps you manage money. And all they want is access to your financial information. What could possibly go wrong?
Yeah.
I'm just trying to think.
What are those they used to go to the place and
Check
get
cashing.
Yeah. Like
it's like
it's the same
digital
thing, right?
check cashing.
It's actually there's actually more to it than that. So what they're doing is they're like Facebook. They're selling your data. Which
you think?
Which your bank cannot do.
Bank sold my fucking address.
They can do that, but they can't sell your financial data. They can only give it to the IRS. So, but these other companies, they're like, yeah, give us so your credit card company does it. Your credit card company aggregates all your spending, bundles that up with everyone else, and sells it to whoever wants to pay for it. So, and there's these data broker companies. They collect all this data on everything, and so that's what they're doing. So if you have your, it's what all these companies are doing. It's what Robinhood was doing. Robinhood made their money because it was free. Remember, and you know what happens when it's free.
You are the product.
You're the product. What they were doing was they were selling your trade data to the company, to the brokerage that owns them. So the brokerage it was a stock trading app. So you could buy and sell stocks.
Oh, what's the big one now? Shit. My son uses it. E-Trade.
E-Trade's old. E-Trade's been a stock broker for shit since the 90s. But Robinhood was free, and a lot of them are free now too. But what they were doing was they were selling your trade data to, I forget who it was, the company that owns them, and that company was front running the trades. So they were selling. So you would place a buy order for a stock at the market price, and the company, the brokerage that owned them would they bought the data. And within milliseconds, they had front run your trade. So the price you were paying was actually a little bit higher. It wasn't much higher, maybe half a cent higher, penny higher. Who knows?
It all adds up though for them.
But it adds up for a ton of money. And so that's how Robinhood made their money, is by selling your data to this other company that would front run the trades. And that happens every stock broker that does not charge a fee. That's exactly what they're doing. They're front running your trades. So that's how it works. And all these other companies that want to, have your, do your direct deposit with us. They want to aggregate your data and sell it to some broker. That's how they make a lot of their money.
Right. I mean, it's clear that this is a business model that is working because there are so many of these apps. But I'm like, are there that many people that are just willing to share their financial information with anybody who has a free app?
Yes.
Nobody sees a problem with this?
Only us buddy
Jay.
buddies, Jay.
Oh, and I'm just like,
Jay.
The kids don't give a shit.
Well, and like in a similar vein, why the fuck are you taking out advertising for a free iPhone game?
So people will load it and then you can collect their data. That's the free games. The free games are free.
I know why they're doing it, Alan, but it's like people are, it's free. You're not selling the game. They want
to either A, show you an ad, or B, collect your data, or C, both. Yeah.
And I'll finish up on my trifecta.
People are very free. I work in a public place. People are very free with their information. Well, I have seen people sit down at a computer, open up Internet Explorer, and do their taxes at a public computer in a public library. Like, it happens all the time. All the time. I have had people hand me their credit cards. Okay.
I can't argue.
They want me to do their stuff for them on the computer. They hand me their credit card.
Sure. Okay. Hold on a second. Sure. I have to go to the restroom. I'll be right back. Ignore the flash of the photocopier.
Right.
People are that dumb. They really are. Routinely every single day.
The waiters, they used to be a big. I don't know if it's as big deal anymore because the credit card companies are all wise to it now. But the waiters at fancy restaurants used to have those mag stripe readers. Yeah, they'd have a little device, and when you gave your card to check, you put your little card in the little thing, they'd take it back, and then they swipe the card, and then they bring it back to you. They'd swipe it, to pay, but they'd also swipe it on their little reader. And then that would take all the data off the stripe, and then they could just go use that elsewhere or sell it or whatever. That's not so common anymore because the credit card companies got real good at pinpointing where.
Yeah. The exact point at which people get fired and or beat to death in the parking lot.
Now it's easier and cheaper just to hack Target and get it off of them. Right. Or Walmart or whoever. Yeah.
And if I may finish up my triumvirate of ads that either puzzle or anger me, this fucking testosterone supplement commercial. What the fuck does man boosting mean, you fucking fucks? Like, we're just throwing out gibberish. Fucking what? Gibberish. It's some like former sports star, and he's like,
it prescription?
No. It's some bullshit. You fucking, you go online, you text them, and it's a supplement. Therefore, it's not prescription. It's Testofen with man boosting formula. What the fuck does that mean? That's gibberish.
It's like the entirety of Chinese medicine is made for man boosting.
I mean,
that's exactly what it is.
They've got some former sports star. I think he's a baseball player. Now, they're going on about how it makes it easier to work out and this and that. Every single dude in the fucking commercial is fat. You're not making your case here that it helps you. You're not large. You're not like buff and built. You're fat. You got fucking 3 chins. Okay, I'm not buying that you take this stuff to work out.
No.
It's
got rhinoceros horn in it?
Shark fin, rhinoceros horn, turtle shell. Ooh, sorry.
It's okay.
If it's Chinese, it might have that in it.
It's just. I know people are stupid. I know this.
Sure.
And men are very worried about their penises. Combine those two things, and voila.
That's the big one, because at the end it's a wink and she'll like it too. And I'm like, really? Is this two people too fucking stupid to go to the doctor and get Viagra? Like,
Yeah.
is this really? Is this
Yes,
what we've
Jay.
sunk to?
Yes, that's exactly what we've sunk to.
Oh my God! I'm like, oh, fucking explains Joe Biden, doesn't it?
Yeah.
God.
Well, you see, Jay, there's this thing called the bell curve.
Oh boy,
And-
here we go. We're
and-
totally getting
and-
kicked off of YouTube now.
And one standard deviation to the left of the bell curve is the IQ of 85.
Hmm.
And there's like 40 million people in the US that are below that 85 IQ. So that's a pretty big market. So
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. And it's just, I mean, it used to just be annoying. Its secret is pH balanced for a woman. What the fuck does that mean? What the fuck?
see,
pH
okay, so here's your
Explain
problem.
to me what pH is.
Here's your problem, Jay. You're watching TV wrong.
Well, yes.
If you want to watch the TV shows, you need to get hooked up with Alan Flicks.
With what?
I'll show you how to watch TV without the commercials.
and you have to understand, I watch Top Gear, anything with the Top Gear guys in it. And
Yeah, but that's on Amazon Prime. Top Gear's on Amazon Prime, isn't it?
Yes.
So there's no commercials.
But all the animated shows that I watch, Bob's Burgers, Simpsons, Family Guy.
Oh.
There's another Archer. I'm like, it's the same. Yes, H. John Benjamin is like everywhere.
He is.
He's
he's
in
got a great
he's in
voice.
Family Guy. He's the
Yeah.
convenience store clerk in Family Guy. Like all of a sudden, because like I watched Archer at first, and then I watched Bob's Burger, and I'm like, that's Archer.
You need to learn how to use the internet to your advantage, Jay. And stop watching broadcast TV.
The big problem is I have a 4-year-old Chromebook and a 10-year-old desktop. So any watching is like flicker, 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 freeze, 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 die, crash.
Yeah. There's better ways to do this. Just telling you.
I know. I used to, go online when I got home from work, or, after dinner and whatnot. Now it's like, it's the same computer. It's the same desk. I have to get away from it. So I go, to the other room and watch TV to just unwind.
Yep.
And then I see these stupid commercials that remind me how much I hate people. Because obviously this shit works. Yeah. Obviously, there's enough idiot guys out there. Oh, sounds good. Let me get.
Well, it's like
I need my man boosted.
It's like the Nigerian email scam. I mean, they do it because enough people respond to it that it works. If it didn't work, they wouldn't do it.
The terrible. Your Bank of America account has been compromised. Joke's on you. I don't have a Bank of America account.
Yeah.
Click the link anyway, just to be sure.
You just start clicking.
I also get a lot of times your Facebook account. Somebody's tried to change your password on your Facebook account. Click here to if it's really
click
you
this random link.
And the thing is I look at the email address and it's never the email address that I actually use to log into Facebook. It's some other email address that has nothing to do with anything.
I used to get those with PayPal.
Same, yeah.
Yeah, it would go into another email address, and your PayPal account has been compromised. Joke's on you.
Yeah,
I don't have anything in my PayPal account.
Yeah,
I get like a life insurance one.
I'm a little scared that no one wants to sell me life insurance. Shit,
they know you have a motorcycle, Jay. They don't want to sell you life insurance.
Motorcycle and held guns. Shit.
Yeah.
He's on borrowed time, damn it. Although, I will say, in the span of a week, I have had an eye exam and a dental examination, no cavities, and no change in my prescription. I still don't need readers.
Good.
What? Hate you.
Still do not. As soon as the contacts come out, I can read the smallest print ever. I can read the Bible on the grain of rice. I'm like, Anyway, so that's my little personal pet peeve. And if any of you out there in Squirrel Land are getting Testofen, I'm going to come to your house and give you a wedgie. All right, because you deserve it.
Here,
I saw
You
one
need your
ad.
man boosted. That's wedgies will do it.
I saw one ad for that Fauci documentary they did.
The one that got 97% Rotten Tomato
Yeah.
approval. And,
Yeah,
the
I
one-
mean, I saw
it was like
one ad and then poof, never again.
The one that IMDb had to lie about the critic score because
Yeah.
it was so bad.
It wasn't just single
You know-
digits. It was low single digits. He only got 2% more likes than I did. And I don't even have a documentary.
The pandemic must be just so bad that they had all this time to make a movie.
Oh yeah.
Well, you know, the hospitals were so overwhelmed that nurses and doctors resorted to making TikTok videos.
Yeah.
Yep.
Terrible.
I was on a call for work today, and we were discussing, corporate real estate and how it's changing within the company and all this kind of stuff. And Tesla bought a shitload of our. We sublet a huge chunk of the main campus in California to Tesla. And if you saw the press release, you know what company I work for now. Anyway, so they're looking at like, are we gonna give up more of this or less of this or whatever? And I was like, well, I said we got a perfectly good 2 giant building complex in Houston that nobody's been in for 2 years. So that was a really good investment. Brand new in 2019, got occupied for a year, and then COVID hit, and nobody's been in there for 2 years.
At least
that's
they're keeping
right.
the mileage down.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but the whole place has just been sitting there, so it's crazy. We're not the only company. I would hate to be an investor in commercial real estate right now. I'd be trying to unload it as fast as I could because it's only going to get worse. Now that everybody knows that they don't have to actually, they can run a business perfectly fine over the internet,
right,
without having to pay for office space.
And with Starlink,
it's going to get even better.
I wonder how it's going to further fuck the residential real estate market. Because places like, let's say North Dakota, where, it's cheap. Wisconsin. Okay, we have family in Wisconsin.
Mm-hmm.
And this is about 7 or 8 years. Within the past decade, my wife's grandparents, her grandmother passed away, and they sold her house. Half-acre, well-kept house, needed updating. It was like wicked 1950s. But everything worked. Everything was in good shape. It was well cared for.
Right.
3 bedrooms, 1.5 bath, on half an acre, $60,000.
Yeah.
Wow.
And if you can do that with a high-speed satellite internet,
right,
that's a much better cost of living than, $1 million for a 2-bedroom shack in San Diego.
Yep.
Oh.
I
don't know if you get even 2 bedrooms in San Diego for $1 million.
Well, bunk bed.
A bunk bed. Yeah.
You're gonna. Well, yeah. You're gonna. It's gonna be. It's gonna be weird because, well, you've got people are moving out of cities like crazy. Anywhere they can. New York
are full of crazy people.
New York real estate's down some crazy percentage. Yeah. I don't know if California real estate has started to drop yet, but people are moving out like crazy. So, I would think it has to, at some point, it has to start dropping in value. Except that inflation is going to make everything go up like crazy. So, you're gonna, you're gonna pay more for it and get less.
And your unrealized capital gains.
Yeah. No, that's not going to happen.
Wow.
There's no
I don't
way
think
that's
that.
going to happen.
No.
No. That's the kind of thing that's like torches and pitchforks.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
no, it's not only that. It's like the rich fucks that actually run the government are going to go, what the fuck are you talking about? You're not doing that.
Yeah.
No way.
Well,
They're not going to let that happen.
BlackRock will certainly benefit. More people are they won't be able to afford their homes.
Yeah, but
your home gained $100,000 in value.
You have to sell your home
unrealized
to pay the
capital gains.
taxes.
Yeah, that's going to be the thing right there is taxes. That's
Right.
what was it? Lenin? Was it Lenin? Stalin? One of them said something about breaking the middle class between inflation and taxes.
Yeah.
So
Here we are.
Your house value keeps going up, and cha-ching.
Yep. We're seeing it. Our taxes went up again this year because the house is worth more.
Yep.
Yep. Starting to look at, getting a big RV and just roaming the country.
With a Starlink antenna on top of it, Jay.
Problem is I'd have to tow a sizable trailer behind it.
You can do that.
Guns.
You can do that. Those big RVs, especially the diesel pushers, they'll pull a 15,000-pound trailer behind them. You could get an RV and then pull a trailer behind it with all your stuff in it.
Just Breeda's getting a little squicked out because it sounds like gypsies.
Yeah. I was just thinking about property values and how they just sold lots. They're tearing down a school at the end of my street. It's an old school, and they're selling lots, and the lots themselves are like astronomical just for the lot, not with a house on it, just for the lot. And I'm like, holy crap! Like that's.
What are they charging?
Okay. I don't know. It was, I forget, but it was a lot for just. I mean, it's not even like it's a tiny little lot. I mean, you've seen my yard. Lot. It's about that. Yeah. It's about the size of my yard. I mean, it's not big at all. So
city lot.
150, 200 for a lot. I mean,
that's not that bad.
Then you have to build a house on it.
Yeah. That's still not that bad.
In Willoughby, Ohio, it's kind of.
You're near downtown Willoughby.
I know 20 years ago, a full acre in my town was going for that much.
And
that's it's nowhere Massachusetts, but
there was a guy I worked with in Dallas that sold his house, and his house was built in the 60s, and it was in North Dallas, and he sold it. It was like almost $400,000, and the buyer didn't care about the house at all.
Yep.
He actually they were like, do you want to like see the house? And the guy's like, no, I don't care. I'm going to tear it down. So he paid that much just for the lot, so he could pay to tear down a house and then build what he wanted on the lot. So
150 for the lot.
Yeah,
just looked up. 150.
I mean, that's a lot.
What's the size, Brita?
I'm looking.
It's
I'd assume probably quarter acre.
No, it's smaller than that.
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Where's the details here?
We need deets.
Yeah.
Doesn't say.
Huh. Well, 0.15 to 0.25, somewhere,
Yeah.
Fifth to a quarter.
Yeah.
It's in.
Oh, they have pictures of the houses they want to put up on it. No, those are idiots. They don't go with our neighborhood at all. They're those with all the peaked roofs.
Oh God, yeah.
Oh, ew. No.
I don't like those houses with the great big garage on the front. There's like the giant 2-car garage on the house on the front, and then they kind of have to fit the rest of the house around it.
Oh, I do not like. Mm-mm.
I need like a 5-car garage, but that's
You need,
another.
you need a giant barn to. Yeah.
That's what I need is a regular 2-car and then a big barn in the back.
You need Jay Leno's garage. That's what you need, Jay.
Yeah.
Honestly, no, I don't, because I would be bringing home strays the way Ellen brings home cats. Yeah, it's like, oh God, he got another car. Oh dear Lord, what did you get this to? Oh God, another Nissan. Oh my God.
That's just sad.
What can I say? I like the 280s and the 300Zs.
280Zs are nice. I wouldn't have a 300.
we just got the look. No car talk. Okay, we'll be
Car
good.
talk with
That's
Jay
why-
and Ellen. Click and
why I
clack.
So I like motorcycles. They take up less space.
My power was out for almost 7 hours today because of the wind. They
Wow.
clocked at the airport. They recorded gusts of up to 60 miles an hour. So I'm sure there were trees getting knocked down.
Yeah, that's tropical storm level, isn't it?
No, not quite. I think tropical storm's like 75 miles an hour, I think. But anyway, and that's sustained winds, not gusts. So the sustained was like 30 miles an hour. But I got to use my truck as the power source for my house, so that was fun. Because
the exact opposite of a Tesla.
yeah, so I have the truck with the battery in it and all that. So I just plug it into the house, and it's quieter than my generator. But, and I haven't tried this yet, but I don't when the power goes out and it's raining, I pull the generator out because I can park it underneath the back porch overhang where it stays dry. There's just something about running a 30 amp 220 volt cable in the rain to my truck that I just don't want to do. So it's probably okay, but pass.
Yeah. Why chance it?
But if I hadn't had the generator, I'd have lost everything in my freezer. And I mean, 7 hours, that's a long time.
Yeah.
So I got a bad feeling that it's going to get worse. This kind of stuff.
Yep.
What weather?
No, just
No.
unreliable infrastructure
And linemen
Oh.
walking off the job.
Sure.
That's another thing I wanted to bring up. Good seg, you, Jay.
You're welcome.
Because they tried to get linemen to go, because they have, every time there's a big natural disaster, they collect up crews of linemen and they go in, convoys of trucks to wherever it is to put the stuff back up. And the linemen like it because they get like double pay for every hour they're on the job.
Yep.
It's really lucrative. And they had this big problem in the East, and the linemen were like, nah.
Yeah.
Because what happened was they went down to Louisiana recently, and they had the vaccine passport thing, and they found out they couldn't go eat anywhere or stop in and get a cup of coffee or anything like that without showing their vaccine proof of vaccination. So they said, New York, screw you.
Yep.
Yeah.
We're not going. So
Joy sitting in the dark.
Actions have consequences. Who knew?
Who
yeah.
knew?
Oh, you saw New York City. They had a big demonstration.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where
There's been demonstrations
they
all
were
over the
chanting,
place.
Let's go, Brandon, in New York City. Because all those Trump supporters in New York City.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the part out. It's just those dumb Trumpers who don't want to get the vaccine. No. Oh yeah, all of them in New York City. Tens of thousands in New York City.
Well, so they say that, it's only, it's 75% of the population is taking the vaccine or whatever.
I thought that was that's the number they wanted, right?
Well, yeah, but the numbers move, right?
Yeah.
That's you can't.
Yeah.
But here's the thing: is if you look at it by, I don't have numbers for this, but I suspect if you look at it by percentage of people who actually go out and fucking do something every day, The percentage
Yeah.
of those people that have it is much lower.
Right.
The percentage
Yeah.
of people who don't accomplish anything every day, probably sky high, probably 99%. Because those fuckers are scared to death and they went, oh, I'm getting the vaccine. The people that have to actually work for a living and rely on their bodies being hale and hardy to actually earn their living, they're like, I ain't taking that shit. What if it fucks me up and I can't go to work? I'm screwed.
Yeah.
That's why the $1 million athletes don't want to take it. You know, especially the young guys that go, well, fuck, if it fucks up my heart, my ball playing days are over. Then what?
Well, yeah, and they're rolling out the vaccine for 5 to 12-year-olds now.
That's insane. There is absolutely
and
this is going to get us knocked
the
off
FDA. What? It's FDA official was caught on one of their Zoom things saying, well, we won't know the effects of the vaccine until we start giving it to kids.
Right.
Because they've never tested it yet on kids.
Right. Right. For
good luck.
For a disease that for under 20, I mean, I think more kids drown in 5-gallon buckets than have died of coronavirus.
Yes. And
you know, it is
car accidents
that low.
And the flu. More kids have died of the flu.
Yeah, it is not. It's not a danger to young children, and
it really is not.
You know, and my sister, I love her, but she's freaking out about this, and she can't wait until my niece can get vaccinated. And I'm like, you understand that you driving her to the doctor for the vaccination is like 1,000 times more dangerous than coronavirus to her. And you know, she's brilliant, but does not have the common sense God gave Graffle. I love the girl. She's stupidly smart. I mean, you know, but you just can't reason with some people. It's, you know, they don't run the risk assessment.
Jay, that's the issue.
It's
I think a lot of women are not in certain areas of their lives are not led by reason. They are led by emotion. And so if you try to make rational arguments with them,
well,
it doesn't compute, you know.
Everybody's led by emotion.
Yeah.
And then they justify it later on and they think they think they're being reasonable, but you know.
Well, I will use myself as an example. I'm scared of flying. I hate getting on an airplane. It scares the shit out of me. I also ride a motorcycle. I'm like several dozen orders of magnitude more likely to get killed on my Harley than I am in a friggin' 737.
True.
Like the brain knows that. The brain's like, you're being an idiot. Get on the damn plane. And I'm like, there's
I'm in the sky.
What do I do?
Yep.
Meanwhile, I got cars, you know, making left turns in front of me. I'm like, fuck you. Because
you know what the difference is, Jay?
I'm in control.
Exactly.
So I'm like, I should get my pilot's license.
There you go.
Or just light $100.
That's the solution.
Or light $100 bills on fire.
or get your RV and just drive. Be like, what's his name? Who is the sports guy that always drove everywhere?
The guy always wore a shirt. Terry Bradshaw. I don't know.
No. It was the famous.
No,
the famous
I know who you're talking about.
He wouldn't fly. He drove. He had a bus, and everywhere he went, it was on the bus. I can't remember his damn name. He was super famous.
Yeah.
If you can think of his name, you'll know you'll know who it is.
Vince Scully.
No, it was
Terry Francona. No, wait.
I'm gonna ask Google.
Oh goodness.
Time to Google.
No,
there's this woman at work and she no longer works. And she was one of those women that was completely irrational about the
John Madden.
Like John Madden.
Oh,
John Madden would not fly ever.
I did not know
everywhere he went. Everywhere he went, he was he rode a bus.
But it really seemed like she was incapable of switching gears to, like, you know, not being a crazy emotional mess about it. And I understand. I guess I don't understand because I don't have children, but I can see where that could come into play where, you know, you have a kid and you love them very much. You don't ever want anything bad to
Yeah.
happen, but like
I get
you
it.
have to.
The problem is humans are ridiculously bad at risk assessment. And the problem is our risk
Jay?
assessment wiring is 30,000, 100,000 years old.
Yeah.
And modern risks are not quantifiable by those instincts. It's it doesn't matter. Though, like Jay's control thing, he's fine on a motorcycle but it's back, it's the monkey brain. It's millions of years of evolution that have not caught up with modern society. So modern risks are not, our brains can't handle them.
I also wonder too if it's one of those. That's what happens when you no longer have a serious threat to your life. You go back 100 years, and there were diseases that would wipe out large swath, honestly kill large numbers of people. Not this inflated bullshit.
The Black Death.
Yeah,
killed 2/3 of Europe.
Spanish flu. And you go back a little further, and it was like common, Civil War, common infections.
Right.
You got gangrene and you died from it.
Back before. That's why they say antibiotics are like the greatest thing ever, because anything that pierced your skin,
right,
no matter how small the scratch, might kill you.
Right. Yeah, women routinely die in childbirth.
Yep.
And you go, I mean, just like proper storage of food. We're not eating bad food anywhere near. I mean, we're not eating spoiled food.
Well, it's that hierarchy of needs things, right?
Yep.
So we don't really have any problems. We have to invent problems.
We're not exactly. We're not in significant danger of freezing to death in the winter or dying of starvation or, drinking tainted water. Flint, Michigan, notwithstanding. But our lives are so soft. We are so fucking soft now that it's like any perceived risk is the greatest. Oh my God, it's the greatest threat to humanity.
Right.
And
it doesn't help when you have the media
24/7.
It's the worst thing ever. You're all gonna die.
I keep seeing. It's one end of the spectrum, the political spectrum. Let's put it that way. That, if you refuse the vaccine, you shouldn't get medical treatment. And I'm like, I'll bet if Jerry Falwell had said, if somebody gets AIDS, they shouldn't get treatment, you would have blown your fucking mind. You would have been apoplectic with rage. And yet, strip everything away, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
You're saying that if you engage in a risky behavior and get this potentially fatal disease, it's your own fault.
Yes.
It's, that.
What's the number one killer in the United States, Jay?
Heart disease.
And how do you get the heart disease?
By being a fat ass.
There you go.
Right.
And
being a sedentary fat ass. And if you're a sedentary fat ass, should you not be allowed? Why is there a bug in my house? It's fucking almost November.
They're coming inside. We used to run into that back when I lived up in Mass. We got were fucking wasps. As soon as it got cold,
oh, terrible.
They would make their way, and it was always in the kitchen. Sure. There was some hole. I never found it the entire time we were there.
Probably coming down the air vent or something.
Something, yeah, and you could tell because it'd be like all of a sudden I'd see something and be like, oh shit, and it'd be like 3 or 4 wasps buzzing around the underside of the table. It was like, oh, it's October, must be wasp season. So yeah, but as it gets cold outside, we saw it. We see it with ants. As soon as it gets cold and or rainy, they start kind of trying to seep in. So it's like, ants I can deal with.
Well,
Stingy,
you know,
stingy bugs.
for those of you that weren't alive in the early 80s, remember
I
the
don't
AIDS
remember the early
epidemic?
80s.
Yeah.
Remember how they told you that, you know, anybody can get it. You can
Yeah.
get it off the toilet seat.
Yeah.
You can get it from, you know, your heterosexual partner.
Blood
It was
transfusions.
gonna, yeah. But here's the thing. You know who was in charge of all that?
Dr. Fauci.
Dr. Fauci.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Oh my fucking God.
He's a
You
busy
can
guy.
do
What?
a Google search. Google search the myth of
Son
heterosexual
of a
AIDS,
bitch.
and you will find
It was
Dr.
the
Fauci's name all
National
over
Institute
it.
of Health stuff, wasn't it?
It was so bad. And here he is. He's doing rinse and repeat on COVID.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my God.
You know,
So-
except that when it was AIDS, they bent over backwards to protect people that had it, that were at risk, you know, that wouldn't take basic precautions to prevent it. You know, and that
What are you?
I got fun Fauci fun facts.
Oh no.
In 1983, Dr. Fauci claimed that AIDS might be transmissible by routine close contact. He also claimed that 10% of the
Yeah.
10%
Follow
of
the
the
science.
AIDS infected would be heterosexual, more than 2.5 times the rate it actually was.
Right. But yeah,
And then
So he knows nothing.
so
Nothing.
for
yeah,
decades.
he
Amazing.
I had a roommate in the early 80s who was so scared of AIDS. And this was one of those guys, he was a player, right? I mean, he was a sleazy player. He was like, you know,
Did he have a van with a waterbed
he
in the
didn't
back?
didn't have a van, but you know, he was always putting the move on women, man. He was like constantly. And he heard about AIDS and it frightened him so much that he went off and got married. Like boom. So he could have sex
Was she a
without
virgin?
having to.
Was she a virgin?
I don't
Yeah,
know.
probably.
But the reason he got married was so he could keep having sex with somebody and not have to worry about getting AIDS.
That's one way to do
I'm
it.
telling you, that's the reason. That's the reason he did. And
Wow.
but again, that was Dr. Fauci blowing it all out of water, blowing it way out of proportion, making shit up, and he's doing the same thing about COVID.
Yep. Like I said, though, the difference was when it was AIDS, they bent over backwards so that the largest group that was at risk that wasn't taking basic precautions. Oh, we can't blame them.
Right.
It's not their fault.
Right.
Well, you know that there's this disease that's spread through the kind of sex you engage in, and all you got to do is use a rubber, and you don't die. And they
What are
still
you, a
couldn't do
homophobe,
that.
Jay?
Yeah. And as part of that, that's part of what brought the HIPAA regulations into play.
Yes,
they were developed specifically so that someone's AIDS status could not be divulged without their consent.
That they actually passed a law, and one of the things that's biting the government on the ass about these vaccine mandates and religious exemptions was because of the law they passed to protect people who had AIDS. It's an ADA thing,
right?
Is you can't force somebody to reveal medical information. You couldn't. They made it illegal to even find out or ask if somebody had AIDS.
Right.
And that's the same thing that applies to COVID. It's illegal for the federal government. The federal government can mandate a vaccine until the courts say they can't, but they can't ask if somebody has the virus.
Right.
Or they can't prove, you can't ask somebody to prove they don't have it.
But
So-
if I weren't so damn lazy, I would love to go back and pull some of the quotes from the religious right and the moral majority in the 80s about the AIDS epidemic and compare it to what the left is currently saying about people who are refusing the vaccinations. Because I'll bet that's a Venn diagram that's just a circle.
It probably is.
Because, I lived through it.
Yep.
I remember it. And it's exactly the same. There's no difference. It's, well, if you get AIDS or COVID and you didn't take the precautions, wearing a mask, getting a vaccine, wearing a condom, then you shouldn't get medical treatment. Same thing.
Yep.
It's history began yesterday. And, we have no trouble being complete utter fucking hypocrites.
Of course not, Jay. Have you met people?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Wow. With all that man boosting going on. But yeah.
Jacinta Ardern.
Who?
Did you read her latest quote? She is the Prime Minister of New Zealand. Somebody asked her, are you creating two different separate classes of people, vaccinated, unvaccinated, and one class is going to be more privileged and have more, freedom than the other? She said, yes, that's what it is.
Wow.
They're not even hiding it anymore.
Yeah, give them points for honesty.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I mean, that's where we're headed now, right?
Yeah.
So
well, that's where New Zealand and Australia are headed.
And Canada, apparently.
Oh, Canada's a basket case.
oh my God, Canada.
You
What
folks are too
happened,
damn close to the
Canada?
Arctic Circle to be pulling that kind of stupid stuff.
Here's another problem. Remember we talked about the truckers and how hard it is for the truckers. You in order for a non-Canadian citizen to enter Canada, they have to be vaccinated. So these cross-border truckers, how many unfrozen freshwater ports does Canada have in the winter?
Yeah.
How many cargo terminals does Canada have?
Yeah.
0.
Yeah.
So all their goods they get from maybe Vancouver. I don't know. But anyway, that a lot of that stuff goes by truck. And guess who can't deliver stuff to Canada?
Yeah.
Unvaccinated truckers. Guess who's not going to get a vaccination?
Yeah.
Unvaccinated truckers.
It won't matter because they won't have any trucks to drive in the next 10 years. So.
Oh yeah, that's it.
Here's the other brilliant thing.
There's not going to be any stuff to truck.
Well,
Oh,
but the Biden administration has solved that, Brita. They're going to fine the shipping companies.
Wow.
Because that's an insane. Like the shipping companies are like, oh, we don't want to dock. We don't feel like docking today. We're just going to stay anchored for another week. Nah. It's like you fucking don't. The problem is not the ships getting it. Yeah. I guess it's they're blaming the cargo the cargo container companies, the shipping companies, for taking too long at the port.
That's
because you can't get enough fucking trucks in.
Right.
Yeah.
Like the ships are like, no, we're going to Dawdle. We'd like to take an extra month in the fucking port.
Yeah. Talk about not understanding basic economics. Those ships, if they're not moving, they're losing money.
Yeah. Oh, no shit.
They hate sitting in port.
If they could teleport every container off the ship instantly, they'd be like, sign me up.
Yeah.
They could fucking Thanos glove snap, poof, and all the containers magically jumped on the dock. They'd be out of there like they had jets attached to the back.
Yep.
They do not want to sit there while you pluck one at a time. Ooh.
Yep. With your union,
Oh my God. You couldn't write a comedy like this because people would be like, are you fucking kidding me? No, this is dumb. I will not stand for this. Yep. And now, but then again, the alternative is fucking President Sleepy offering M&Ms and shorns to visitors to the White House. He's one step away from Werther's Originals. You know, he's gonna. Next thing you know, all the furniture in the White House is gonna be wrapped in plastic.
He's keeping them in the pocket of his sweater.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
Here you
boy.
go, kids. Here you go.
Come sit on Uncle Joe's lap, Chris.
Well, the White House is not going to have a Halloween this year because Joe is going to be.
Oh, did
in
Kamala lose her broom?
Ooh, Jay. I thought that was
Good.
Jill, though.
Oh,
Jill would make a great
Dr. Jill.
They're both.
Dr. Jill.
They're both.
Yeah. Rumor has it that Dr. Jill does not like Kamala at all.
No, they don't.
And it's looking for ways to get rid of her.
Which means that Joe's going to be like Weekend at Bernie's.
I heard a great theory, and I don't remember where I heard it. Maybe it was Scott Adams, but they were talking about how the Democrats they don't think they're anybody with half a brain knows Joe's not going to make it full term.
Yeah.
So now they have to war game how to replace him. It can't be Kamala. Right? It can't be. Even the Democrats don't want her. They just don't. So here's the latest theory is they'll convince Kamala to step down for some reason. Nominate an acceptable replacement.
Spiro Agnew her.
Yes. Yes.
Ooh, now there's an interesting question. It's do they have something on Kamala?
Oh, sure. They'll make something up. Who cares? They'll get her.
Well, she can't be racist or sexist, Alan. See, they painted themselves in a corner with Kamala Harris.
But it doesn't take much. All they have to do is they can twist her arm and get her to resign.
They could make her admit that only women give birth.
Regardless, they'll figure out something. They'll get her to resign. And then
I guarantee you, if
they'll nominate an acceptable Democrat substitute,
an establishment Democrat who is equally venal.
Yes, and then then they'll quietly shuffle Joe off.
I do wonder if Jill will allow that, though. She doesn't strike me as being willing to leave that behind.
It may not be up to her.
What if Joe Biden, he doesn't have to replace Kamala with
it could be anybody.
Who can he replace?
Jill.
He
could replace Kamala with Dr. Jill.
All they have to do is get a majority vote in the Senate.
And the tiebreaker, though,
to Kamala,
which bolsters my theory that they're going to cheat to open up their lead.
Yeah, I think they'll
do it. Because they can do that.
Their window here, the Senate, it's going to take a lot of cheating for the Democrats to retain control of the Senate because they're
81 million votes, Alan.
But Jay, they're I understand what you're saying, but if you're a Democrat, you got to be looking at this election and be worried as fuck that you're going to lose one of those houses at least. It's got to be a worry. So if they're gonna,
I don't think it is.
If they're gonna,
think it is either.
If they're gonna replace Joe, then they have to do it before the November election.
Nah.
And they have to do it. They have to replace Kamala before the November election.
Because I think they can wait till after November and blame Biden for being unpopular. Because I'm staking my claim. They are not going to lose either the House or the Senate.
I bet they lose one.
They're not going to allow it. We've given them the blueprint. They cheated their fucking asses off.
But Jay, especially
in 2020.
Especially in the House. Remember, House isn't a statewide election, and there are lots of districts where the Democrats can't cheat because they don't have enough people.
Oh,
every one that they do, though, Alan.
Oh, I know. but they only have to retain 12 seats to keep in control. And that's going to be a tough midterm election with a horribly unpopular president.
Doesn't matter. You know, every president that won Ohio won the presidency right up until Joe Biden.
Yeah.
It all went out the window last year.
Yeah, we'll see. I still think they'll lose. They might even lose both.
I mean, I hope I'm wrong. I really do, because we are going off the fucking cliff with rockets on.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know, I mean, I'm
actually,
not,
you know what? Here's an alternative scenario. The Democrats are in trouble. Joe Biden, horribly unpopular. Democrats control the House and the Senate. They haven't been able to do shit. The progressives are pissed off because they're not getting anything they wanted. Now, what happens if the Democrats go, all right, this election, we won't cheat. We'll let the Republicans get control. And then we'll blame every fucking thing on them.
Now that is a possibility.
That's the only thing that's going to save them for the presidential election.
That is thinking. That's chess. That's thinking a bunch of moves ahead that you get. I'll give you that. And there may be a handful of Democrats that do think that far ahead. It's like, look, we got rid of Trump. The Republicans will not run a non-establishment candidate again. They'll run fucking Jeb Bush or, one of the safe, Mitt Romney. Not Mitt Romney or Jeb Bush, but someone like that. Marco Rubio or, Nikki Haley. I don't know, but they're not going to run another. Trump's not going to run again. Period.
Lots of people saying he will.
I don't see it. I just don't.
We'll see.
He's not Grover Cleveland here.
If he does, he may have to run as an independent because the Republican Party is going to treat him like the Democrats treat what's his name? Bernie.
Yeah.
They'll be like, thanks. Here, you shuffle you off to the side. We'll change the rules so you don't get to win.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we'll see. I mean, and Joe Biden is not horribly unpopular, Alan.
He is.
He's got like a 48% approval rating. I just saw it.
amongst how many Let's Go Brandons?
They control the narrative. It doesn't matter. He's only horribly unpopular if you're paying attention, and nobody's paying attention, Alan.
Yeah, but it's also a midterm election, which nobody goes out and votes for.
I will give you one thing, and that is the wild card is gas prices are going up, food prices are going up. People notice that shit.
Yep.
And the Democrats have fucked themselves hard because they got no one to blame.
Yeah.
Yes, you could, Trump. The problem is it's really fucking easy to pull up the
everybody remembers the gas price under Trump. Yeah.
It was never above $3 a gallon. It was $2.80 was the high throughout his 4 years. I saw it was a thread on Facebook where somebody came in and like, gas prices were this high under Trump, and somebody pulled up the Federal Register. No, they weren't. The highest they reached was $2.80. Well, it's not fair because COVID puts the prices down, blah, 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 blah. 2017, 2018, 2019. Gas was not $4 a gallon. It was not $3.50 a gallon.
Yep.
Facts are whatever you make them. History began yesterday. Who knows? Gas was, Alan, listen to the fucking liberals. Throughout the 1980s, when Ronald Reagan was president, we all lived in fucking cardboard boxes and had AIDS and crack from the CIA. Okay? That's what the 1980s were. It was this horrible morass of crime.
That's true. There went Jay. It's been an hour.
I was waiting for it. I was like, oh.
Yeah. I was looking at my timer and it's been an hour.
It has been an hour.
That's nice.
Yep.
There you go, Jay.
Jay.
Yeah,
You have a
there we go.
timer?
We got yeah, pretty much. Well, it's funny because like I keep an eye on the little red box in the corner that has the time we've been running, and it's like
Yeah.
some weeks it's like just under an hour. It's like 58 minutes. And this one it was like 1 minute, 1 hour, 4 minutes, and it just changes
Weird.
from week to week. But
Do we have a show and tell?
I have a show and tell. I have a special show and tell.
Ooh.
I found it. I had to dig through fucking 3 drawers worth of stuff, but I found
Wow.
the K-Bar
Oh, cool.
from I think
$10
this was
the
Charlotte.
$10 K-Bar from
K-Bar.
Charlotte. Yeah.
Yep. I found it at the bottom of one of the drawers. I was like, oh
Yep.
my God, I got it.
That's a nice knife.
I've got
It's
several
a
of those.
great knife. And for $10, it's perfect.
$10, yeah.
You know, I mean, it's a decent blade. It's decent thickness.
Yeah.
It's a dozer design.
Yep.
Dozier, I'm not sure how that's pronounced, but it's a lockback, not a liner.
Yeah.
It's a good knife. It's thin,
Yep.
fits in a pocket. You can even swap the pocket clip from side to side whether you want to do left or right.
Yep.
$10. Such a bargain.
I got like
bargain,
4 of
kid.
those. It was a really good price.
So, yep. So that was the show and
great,
tell.
Jay.
That was the infamous. That was 11 years ago.
I remember everybody was like, "Holy shit! Did you see the K-Bar knives?" It was like they were like
They're not
passing
like
out like candy.
fake K-bars.
No, they were real
No.
K-Bar.
No.
It's a real K-Bar.
Okay.
They were having must have had a pallet of them back there because
Yeah,
I think everybody that went to that NRA convention had
Got a couple of them.
several of those
I don't think I got
$10
one.
K-bars.
I
Uh-oh.
don't think I got one.
I got several of them.
I don't have a knife that looks like that.
I'll give you one.
Yeah, Taiwan.
I don't want it.
That's why they're so cheap. Taiwan.
The time has passed.
Whatever. Taiwan makes good knives sometimes.
Yeah.
Do you have a
yeah.
show and
But
tell, Alan?
What?
Do you have a show and tell?
I do, but you go first. Do you have one?
Well, I was going to show another pop-up book since everybody liked the first pop-up book that I showed.
Good. Do that.
And I have a number of pop-up books because I like them. And I went through them today and I thought, everybody likes MC Escher,
Ooh.
right?
Wow. And for those of you listening to the podcast, you really want to go see this video.
Yes.
Yeah. Some of them are pretty complicated, but I'm just going to open up the ones that
Plus, you get to see Tig eating in the background.
Cat is eating his dinner.
Oh, that's cool.
MC Escher, very, very cool. This is the one where it has the lizards flying out of the little ink pot thing, and this one's good. But trying to find one that is really 3D. I mean, MC Escher, if you don't know who MC Escher is, go look him up. I mean, if you don't know who MC Escher is, I'm sorry for you.
Yeah.
Like,
don't admit it.
Don't admit it. Don't tell me. Go Google him and enjoy because he's fantastic. This is a very famous one.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
I mean, there's a big reveal. It's very these books are so beautifully engineered that when you open up the page, it's just like, whoa, how does that happen? You know?
Yeah. Paper magic.
Paper magic. Yeah. And here's, I think, probably his most famous.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The
I don't know if this is
never-ending
his most
waterfall.
famous one, but
that's one of them.
Yeah. So
that's cool.
I think these are still all available on Amazon. Maybe.
Neat.
Yeah, pop-up books. They're really cool. There you go.
Jay, we lost Jay.
Jay's gone again.
Yeah. I don't know if I have a show and tell or not.
You said you did.
Oh, yeah, I kind of do. Hang on. Oh. Look at my butt. Okay. And Jay's back.
I'm back.
So last week I showed a sword. This week I have another one. And you might think it's the same one.
Oh my God.
However, it's the left-handed version.
I am not left-handed.
And
I just watched that movie, Jay.
You don't hate that one?
What? Princess
Well,
Bride?
Just check. Will you hate Monty Python?
No.
So.
No, totally
nobody
different.
hates Princess Bride. But this is a left-handed one. And I don't the right-handed one's back in the back of the house, but it's because they have the hilt that's like to the side.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mhm.
They
does have
actually
the handle.
unlike a lot of swords, these are handed. So a lot of swords, it doesn't matter which hand you hold it in. The ones, any sword with a basket hilt or a any kind of thing like that, you hold it in the proper hand. But I got the left-handed one too, because A, I'm left-handed, and B, if you take the left-handed one and the right-handed one, I can cross them and hang them on the wall. And
You're gonna do it over the mantle?
I don't know where I'm going to do it, but I thought I'd do this and then get something like a skull or something to put on the middle. So
no, you got to put them on the front of your truck.
Flag. No, I'm not going to do that, Jay.
Oh my God.
You know what's funny though? The right-handed version is sharp, but it's not like knife sharp, right? I mean, it's more like axe sharp. This one's knife sharp. This one's like slice your finger, you could shave some hairs off with this blade. It's that sharp, which, I thought that was kind of odd, but anyway.
Maybe they just figured it wouldn't be used.
Well, it's a cold steel, so what's his name? The cold steel guy,
Lynn Thompson.
Lynn.
I blocked it out.
Lynn.
Or were you referencing Buck Medley?
Not Bug Medley, no. Lynn Thompson. They say that's it's every bit as good, if not better, than the original pattern sword it was made from.
Well,
so
hope it's better, because I would hope that we have better steel these days.
I wouldn't bet on it.
I really enjoy their videos.
The videos are
chopping
great.
pigs in pieces.
Oh yeah,
those are fun. So anyway,
I just as someone who's done some video, I shudder to think about how just horrifically wrong that can go. Because it's like
they're experts, Jay.
Ask Alec Baldwin how horribly wrong it can go.
Oh no, let's not go there. Wait a few weeks. We'll talk about it then. After they press charges, we'll talk about it.
That's against the assistant armorer there. That's who's going to get charges. But anyway.
But Alec Baldwin's the producer, and the civil suit is going to be amazing.
Oh yeah.
So he might not be criminally liable, although he should be.
Yes.
He is definitely financially liable. So anyway, and it's not in California. You got to remember, this happened in
That's true.
New
Mexico. So they don't have the automatic, Hollywood gets a pass attitude that California has.
Also, the history of bad practice on the set.
Yeah. Yep. People walking off because of unsafe conditions. And anyway.
Rumor has it they were just using that pistol right before shooting for target practice for fun.
And
I wonder how that live round got in there.
And it's a Colt single action revolver.
Right.
It's a single action army, which means you can only unload it through the gate one round at a time.
Right.
So probably what happened was some asshole didn't get them all out.
Yep.
And as Mr. Baldwin was doing his cross draw practice, he eventually rotated the cylinder around until boom.
Yep. Exactly.
I really take issue with the gun went off.
Yeah.
Motherfucker pulled the
No.
trigger.
Yep.
Motherfucker cocked the hammer and
Yeah.
pulled the trigger.
Right.
And
that
that awkward moment when you realize the conductor from Shining Time Station has killed more people than Chuck Norris.
Yeah.
Oops, that we know of.
Well,
You don't know how many people Chuck secretly killed when he was working for the CIA.
yeah.
It
He was
just
on Delta Force.
That's right.
here's the
with
thing
two
though.
Uzis.
Here's the thing. Is that, you know, Hollywood is so anti-gun and liberals are so anti-gun, and Alec Baldwin has
The
been
worst.
so anti-gun, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
That they don't know anything about safe handling. Because were they gun people? Were they like,
Yeah.
you know, educated and have handled guns in their lives like normal people? They would know.
Yep.
Maybe I should check the gun before I pull the trigger.
Yeah, would be a good idea.
Yeah.
Especially when you fire the armorer and go with, you know, oh, well, it's the daughter of another armorer, so they must be good. This is their
Yeah.
second picture, and they had significant problems both on the previous
Right.
one and on this one.
Right.
She's going to get thrown under the bus.
Oh yeah.
And
Well,
from what
I
I've
mean,
seen,
she should be.
deservedly
She's an
so.
adult.
Deservedly
Yeah.
so. There's images of her instructing someone shooting a rifle where neither of them have eye or ear protection.
No.
And the person holding the gun is doing that. I've never fired a rifle in my life. Lean.
It was a child, I think,
Where-
wasn't it?
I
Looked like a
couldn't tell.
child to me. But
But it was
there's lots of room
just-
under the bus. Let's just say that. Lots of room under
It's
the
a
bus.
big bus.
It's a big bus. Look at Jay. He's stuck.
All right. We're an
Anyway.
hour and 16 minutes in. So
Okay.
we got bonus
got
time.
like a whole quarter of a show extra.
I know.
Yay.
It's crazy. And we'll be back. Will we be back next
Oh,
week?
I should have worn a costume. It's
yeah.
Halloween. Rats.
That's right.
The 30th
Next show will be in
Sunday is
November.
Halloween.
Sunday is Halloween.
Yep. Next show will be on Diwali.
Okay. I'll light a candle.
The
Okay. Good night, everybody.
Yep. We'll be back. Bye. All right, got it. Where's the button?
Night, y'all.
Jay.